What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio for Friday, July 31st, 2015. Delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Jon Stewart will laugh his way off stage with a lineup of powerhouse comedians joining him for his Daily Show send-off on August 6th. At the end of Thursday's show, Stewart announced Amy Schumer, Dennis Leary, and Louis C.K. as his final guests. He said, "We're going to have a ball, and I can't wait to show my appreciation at all the support and enthusiasm that you guys have given me all these years." Stewart's final episode is scheduled to be 50 minutes long instead of the normal half hour in order to allow for a few extra surprises. It assumes his former colleague Stephen Colbert and John Oliver will take part in the festivities, along with some of Stewart's most famous foes, including Fox News' Bill O'Reilly. Comedy Central will air an all-day Daily Show marathon on Thursday starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Comedian Trevor Noah is set to take the reins from Stewart after his departure. Tom Cruise's super spy Ethan Hunt returns to theaters Thursday night as Mission Impossible Rogue Nation kicked off with a strong $4 million pre-showing screening. Beginning its rollout at 8 p.m. Thursday night, the fifth installment in the action film franchise opened in 3,956 North American screens this weekend and looked likely to win the weekend with the debut in the $40 million range. Its Thursday night numbers is comparable to Mad Max, which earned $3.7 million in evening shows, and World War Z, which earned $3.6 million in Thursday's show. Written and directed by Christopher McQuarrie, the new Paramount and Skydance film sees Hunt and his team attempting to prove the existence and then stop syndicated, an international criminal consortium. Jeremy Renner, Simon Pegg, and Rebecca Ferguson also star in the movie. Vacation, starring Ed Helms, Christina Applegate, Leslie Mann, and Chris Hemsworth, opened Wednesday to get a head start on the weekend. The New Line comedy earned $1.2 million in late night Tuesday showings, which was added into the Wednesday tally of $3.8 million. A So-So starred, adding another $2.5 million to its total Thursday. The comedy about the next generation of Griswolds has earned $6.2 million heading into the weekend. ABC's freshman drama Astronaut Wives Club enjoyed a sizable ratings bump on Thursday night, but the liftoff wasn't enough to put it past the orbit of CBS. According to the preliminary numbers, CBS handily won the night thanks largely to Big Brother, which improved modestly in the key 18 to 49 demographics. Despite a primetime slate that was half repeats, CBS came in first in the 1849 demographic with a 1.4 rating out of 6 shares, and also topped in total viewers with 5.7 million. Following repeats of The Big Bang Theory and Mom, Big Brother at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time inched up 5% from last week for a 2.0 out of 8, the night's top demo performance, and drew 6.3 million total viewers. Under the Dome at 10 held steadily with last week for a 1.0 out of 4 and drew 4.6 million total viewers. NBC drew second place for the night in the demo and viewers with a 0.9 out of 4 and 4.9 million viewers respectively. Food Fighters at 8 p.m. dropped off 13% in the demo for a 0.7 out of 3 while drawing 3.6 million total viewers. Dateline Mystery at 10 had a 1.0 out of 4 with 5.5 million total viewers. Univision was third in ratings and fourth in total viewers with a 0.8 out of 3 and 2.3 million. ABC The ratings were a mixed bag for ABC Thursday night, with Astronaut Wives Club at 8 p.m. jumping 33% from last week to a 0.8 out of 3 with 4 million total viewers. Mistresses, the following hour, held steadily with a 0.7 out of 3 and took 3.1 million total viewers, while Rookie Blue at 10 slid 13% from a 0.7 out of 3, receiving 3.6 million total viewers. Fox was 6th place in ratings and 5th in total viewers with a 0.5 out of 2 and 2 million. The network aired Boom at 8, which was even with last week's in the demos with a 0.6 out of 3 and drew 1.9 million total viewers following a Bones repeat. Luke Perry, who was catapulted to fame as the brooding Dylan McKay on Aaron Spelling's iconic 90s series Beverly Hills 90210, doesn't really want to talk about the show. At the Television Critics Association Summer Press Tour on Thursday, the actor was asked whether he would watch Lifetime's unauthorized Beverly Hills 90210 tell-all. A reporter asked, "What do you think about Lifetime doing the tell-all?" The actor responded, "I don't think about it. You must have some thoughts." No. The reporters went on to ask him why he thinks there is such a fascination with the show, although it's been off the air for a few years. However, Perry was not amused. He said, "Why are you so disconnected from that? Why does it not matter to you?" Perry replied, "Third grade. How much does that matter to you? Exactly. It's just not relevant to anything I'm doing." Next question. This is interesting, as Beverly Hills 90210 was the show that catapulted him, along with Jenny Garth, Tori Spelling, Shannon Doherty, Ian Ziering, and Jason Priestley, to stardom in 1990. Still, Perry will not be tuning in to watch the Lifetime 90210 tell-all. He said, "I don't even watch my own self on TV. Why would I want to watch this? I don't see it happening." The show ran from 1990 to 2000 on Fox and was produced by Spelling Television. Perry played bad boy Dylan McKay, who was also portrayed as a loner. The show chronicled the lives of a group of friends living in Beverly Hills as they navigated their way through West Beverly Hills High to college and subsequently into the adult world. Lifetime's unauthorized Beverly Hills 90210 tell-all will premiere October 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Lifetime. ESPN SportsCenter anchors Neil Everett and Stan Verrett are sticking around for a while. ABC's Sports Network announced Friday that it has reached new multi-year agreements with the co-anchors of the late-night hour of its flagship sports news program. Everett and Verrett, who joined ESPN 2 months apart in 2000, will continue to host in the 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time edition of SportsCenter, which launched from the Los Angeles studio in 2009. Rob King, ESPN's Senior Vice President of SportsCenter and News, said in a statement, "The on-air chemistry Neil and Stan have can't be manufactured. It's as authentic as it gets, and we're looking forward to having them as part of our team for years to come." Everett added, "When Stan says he was staying, then I had no choice. We are going at the hip. Plus, it's a great gig, so I'm glad Stan decided to stay." When actress Cara Delevingne parted ways with the modeling agency that launched her inevitable career, London-based Storm Models, it was rumored that the It Girl, she stars in John Green's Paper Towns and has 6 films upcoming, including the anticipated Suicide Squad, was ditching model for Hollywood full-time. Delevingne says it's not true, though she does add that she's done with the catwalk and will no longer participate in any Fashion Week presentations. The 22-year-old told The Hollywood Reporter, "I'm not stopping modeling, I'm not retiring, I'm just doing film for the time being. Careers change and you develop and get older. I still have very close relationships with the people I used to work with. Maybe I'll do fashion sometime, but at the moment I have no time to do anything." One of those she's close to is Chanel's Karl Lagerfeld. So what does the icon think of his muse moving to the big screen? He says, he always knew that I've always wanted to act. He was very nice to put me in his fashion movie. She says, along referencing to the short she did alongside Pharrell Williams. She said, "And he knew I wanted to do music, so he let me do that as well. He's been nothing but supportive." There's a lot of support. Up next on the release schedule for Delevingne are Tulip Fever, London Fields, Kid in Love, Pan, Suicide Squad, and Valerian in the City, and Of a Thousand Planets. HBO is getting a taste of U2's current Innocence and Experience World Tour. The premier cable network has scored a pair of specials from Bono and Company, both set to air in November. The Time Warner-owned cabler, ahead of its time at the Television Critics Association Summer Press Tour, announced that it would debut a behind-the-scenes documentary with an unprecedented access to the band on November 7th. A week later, on November 14th, HBO will air the band's Paris concert from Bercy Arena on the same day. The documentary and the concert will be available on HBO Go and HBO Now simultaneously to the world premiere on HBO. HBO programming president Michael Lombardo said, U2 continues to take risks, which has made them one of the most consistently exciting forces in rock and roll. The 1-2 combination of this documentary special, following by the concert, will provide viewers with the ultimate look at this remarkable band behind the scenes and on the stage. The documentary will feature interviews with Bono, The Edge, Adam Clayton, and Larry Mullen Jr., as well as the supporting cast of Willie Williams, who has created tour concepts for the band for more than 30 years. Award-winning designer Cara Delevingne newly signed on for this tour. Production director Jake Berry, audio director Joe O'Hillery, executive director Gavin Friday, set designer Rip Lipson, and others will bring the tour to life. The documentary will be produced and directed by Dave Guggenheim, who directed Inconvenient Truth for Senator Al Gore, and produced by Shannon Dill, with U2 manager Gus O'Siri serving as executive producer. The doc comes after U2's longtime tour manager Dennis Sheehan had passed away in May while the band was on tour in Los Angeles. Zayn Malik, solo artist, is making things official. The former One Direction singer shared a photo on Twitter of his official signing with RCA. One Direction is with Columbia. Both record labels are part of Sony. This follows an announcement from earlier this week that Malik had reportedly signed with Turn First Artists, where he'll be managed by Sarah Stentnant, who has guided the careers of Iggy Azalea. Simon Cowell later tweeted his congratulations. Zion tweeted, "I guess I'll never explain why I left. It was for this moment to be given the opportunity to show you who I really am. Hashtag real music, hashtag RCA." He also tweeted, hashtag real me. Simon Cowell tweeted, "We have been working on this for a while, and I'm pleased to say congratulations to Zayn Malik on signing with RCA Records." He also tweeted, "I believe that they are the perfect label for Zayn Malik's solo career, and I am sure whatever they release together will be special." And in a related story, One Direction member Liam Payne has called it a bit of a surprise. For One Direction's global legion of fans, the sneaky release of a new single is a lot of a surprise. Payne dropped a big one overnight when the One Direction cleaner tweeted on an iTunes link to the boy band's new single, Drag Me Down. He tweeted, "Bit of a surprise, check out our new single, it's called Drag Me Down, and I hope you love it as much as we do." Drag Me Down represents the start of a new era for One Direction, which is now a foursome following the departure of Zayn Malik in March. The new track just happened to materialize towards the end of the week, in which Malik had signed back-to-back deals with Turn First Artist Management and RCA Records, signaling the green shots for his own solo career. Is One Direction stealing the thunder of its breakaway star? The lads, it turns out, are full of surprises. The pop juggernaut, which has recently celebrated its 5th anniversary and somewhere in the region of 65 million career record sales, is currently working on a 5th album, which is due in release in November. Drag Me Down is the first track from him. The song was written by Jamie Scott, John Ryan, and Julian Bonetta, and is produced by Ryan and Bonetta, and it's available worldwide on Spotify and iTunes. Payne and his bandmates Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, and Niall Horan are in the midst of their 4th North American tour with the On the Road Again track. The Meek Mill versus Drake beef has gotten more than an arbiter, and it's just got meatier with Mill dropping his own diss song about the Canadian rapper. Mill had just released Wanna Know, in which he referenced the rumored time that Diddy slapped Drake and featured a few lines from Diddy himself towards the track's end. It's unknown whether Diddy's audio is freshly cut or if it was lifted from an old recording. The new work also features Quentin Miller and was produced by Jaleel Beats and Swiss Beats. Even the artwork is a slapdown. Dream Chaser Records posted the stream to SoundCloud, accompanied with a Photoshop picture of Drake as a member of the disgraced 90s duo Milli Vanilli. Wanna Know comes on the heels of Drake's 2 diss tracks back-to-back and Charge Up. Where this battle is headed or where it'll end is anyone's guess. One thing's for sure, and that is where it all began. On July 22nd, Mill dropped a Twitter bomb when he wrote, "Stop comparing Drake to me too. He don't write his own raps. That's why he ain't tweet my album, because we found out. Social media has been lit up ever since with back and forth character assassinations. It seems Drake won't let this one go." Just minutes after Mill's track went out, Drake posted a photo on Instagram of himself looking at his phone and laughing. High 97 Funk Master Flex has poured out more fuel on the fire by posting 3 more reference tracks allegedly by Miller for Drake: Used To, Rico, and Know Yourself. Flex has recently debuted an alleged reference track to Drake's 10 Bands by Miller. He says someone from OVO sent him the track. Singer Morrissey posted a note yesterday to his Zen True to You alleging that he was sexually assaulted at a San Francisco International Airport on July 27th by an airport security officer. The singer, who recently wrapped up a U.S. tour, described passing through the standard airplane security procedure with no bleeps and nothing unusual. He was then gathering his belongings when he was approached by an airport security officer who stopped me, crouched before me, and groped my penis and testicles. When an older security officer approached, Morrissey says the offending officer quickly moved away. Two members of the British Air Special Services suggested that Morrissey filed a complaint, but they confronted the officer before it was officially submitted. Morrissey describes the following exchange between the Special Service officers and the alleged groper. "You have just sexually groped this man, officer. That's just your opinion. What have you done? What you have done is illegal. That's just your opinion. You have no right to do what you've just done. That's just your opinion." Morrissey thinks further about this exchange in his post, writing, "Apart from that's just your opinion," he would not comment, even though, since the penis and testicles were mine and no one else, then my opinion must surely have some meaning. But of course, what the airport security officer was saying was, your opinion will never count in the eyes of the law. Morrissey remained pessimistic about resolving the matter through official channels, writing, "In the interest of the imperishable bureaucracy, my submitted complaint against this officer will obviously be either unread or ignored because we all know on matters of officialism it is not possible to be pleasantly surprised by anything at all. However, when it was clear you should find yourself traveling through San Francisco International Airport," he continues, "you should expect sexual abuse from the so-called security officers, who we are unconvincingly warned are acting only for our security." The TSA, however, insisted its agent did nothing wrong during the pat-down. A TSA spokesperson told The Hollywood Reporter, upon review of closed-circuit TV footage, TSA determined that the supervisor officer followed standard operating procedures in its screening of this individual. TSA takes all allegations of misconduct seriously and strives to treat every passenger with dignity and respect. Rapper Ice-T revealed his cuddly soft side on Thursday when he did some of his best cartoon voices for Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show. Here's a clip of it.
My pal. Now, last time we learned something very interesting about you here, and that this is that you're not only are you a rapper and an actor, but it turns out you also did a lot of voiceovers for cartoons.
I thought everybody knew that.
No, I didn't know. Well, I grew up watching a lot of these cartoons as a kid. To be honest, I had no idea the voice was you.
You just didn't recognize my voice then. Well, now you probably will.
When I watch them now, I think I can hear it a little bit. I actually have a few clips. See if you can hear which one Ice-T is. This first one's from Care Bears. Remember that cartoon? See if you can recognize Ice-T in this in Care Bears.
I wonder why Grumpy called us here so late at night.
What's this about?
Yo, why don't y'all quit your moaning and check this out?
That's really something. What is it?
What's the hell it look like? I turned this Roomba into a bomb. See?
The blue one. You were the blue guy.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was based on a true story.
No, I don't know. That's interesting. Here's another one you did. This one's from the 80s cartoon, The Smurfs. I love The Smurfs.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Check this out.
Papa Smurf, I don't feel so good.
I think I know what the problem is. You need to man the up. I should just bitch smack your ass.
Actually, get walk out.
Max, come on, baby, come on.
Max, come on. Don't
Max, over here. Come on, stop playing.
Earlier work.
All right,
I didn't know that you were Papa Smurf. I didn't know.
Yeah, so, yeah. Now you understand.
Well, I mean, we have one more clip here, and this is actually a current children's cartoon. I didn't know you're still doing these things. Dora the Explorer. He did this one last week. Watch this. That's exciting.
Here you go.
Damn, I thought Jimmy Fallon was the only pussy with a broken hand. I didn't know you were going to see that one, Jimmy.
Man of many talents. My thanks to Ice-T.
And now let's look back at what happened on this day in entertainment history. On this day, one of the most influential figures in the history of American popular music was born on this day in 1923, and perhaps in the unlikeliest of places, Istanbul, Turkey. The son of a high-ranked diplomat, Ahmet Ertegun enjoyed a cosmopolitan upbringing that included stops in Switzerland, Paris, and London before his father's appointment as a Turkish ambassador to the United States brought him to America. Intelligent, well-educated, and well-connected, Ertegun had attracted career opportunities to consider when he graduated from Maryland St. John's College in 1944, but his Americanization had already gone too far. He said, "I have decided to whether I could go into a scholastic life or go back to Turkey in the diplomatic year," he recalled many years later. "But what I really loved was music and hanging, but to hold those priorities as a recent college graduate is one thing, but to turn it into a hugely successful career of great historical and cultural significance is quite another." Along with his older brother, Nishi, Ahmet was a jazz and blues aficionado. Together, the two Erteguns had amassed an enormous record collection of mostly black artists who had little hope of mainstream success in the segregated America in the 1940s. While Nishi went west to take over a Los Angeles record store in 1944, Ahmet remained on the East Coast, moving to New York City to establish an independent record label with partner Herb Abramson in 1947. That label, Atlantic Records, would play a pivotal role in breaking down the racial barriers that characterized the post-war music industry. At Atlantic Records in the late 1940s and early 1950s, Ertegun worked with artists like Big Joe Turner, Ruth Brown, The Drifters, and Ray Charles to lay down the foundations of a musical style that future Atlantic producer Jerry Wexler had only recently christened rhythm and blues. The future styles called soul and rock and roll would also evolve out of the sounds that Ertegun helped popularize, and the early Atlantic catalog would be instrumental in inspiring the blues-based rock that British bands like the Rolling Stones brought to America in the mid-1960s. When Herb Abramson departed in Atlantic in 1958, Jerry Wexler and Nishi Ertegun joined on as partners. And after another incredibly successful decade as a true independent, they sold the label to the forerunner of Time Warner in 1967. Atlanta retained a distinct identity with its parent company. However, even as it moved from the music of Aretha Franklin and Led Zeppelin in 1960s and 1970s to gangster rap in the 1990s. Ahmet Ertegun died in 2006 following a fall backstage at a Rolling Stones concert at the Beacon Theater in New York City. Also on this day in 1965, Joanne Rowling, better known to the world over as J.K. Rowling, the author and creator of the celebrated Harry Potter book series, is born near Bristol, England. Beginning in the 1990s, Rowling's 7 Harry Potter novels became international blockbusters, selling over 400 million copies and being translated in more than 60 languages. The book also spawned a series of movies, video games, and other merchandise that made Rowling one of the wealthiest people in the entertainment industry. Rowling attended England's University of Exeter, where she studied French and later worked on human rights organization Amnesty International in London and as a language instructor in Portugal. The idea of Harry Potter came to Rowling when she was riding a train in Manchester, England, to London in 1990. She began writing the first book that night. Rowling finished the book while living in Edinburgh, Scotland, where she was struggled financially as a single mother and battling depression. Her completed manuscript was turned down by a number of publishers before she got a book deal with Bloomsbury Publishing in August 1996. The first Harry Potter book debuted in Great Britain in 1997 under the title Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The book was released in the United States the following year and renamed Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Children and adults alike were captivated by the story of the bespectacled boy wizard Harry, his friends Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, their adventures at the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and Harry's evil struggles against his enemy, the evil Lord Voldemort. In November 2000, In November 16, 2001, the first Harry Potter film, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, opened in America and was a huge box office success. It was directed by Chris Columbus and starred British actor Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, Rupert Grint as Ron, and Emma Watson in the role of Hermione. A roster of celebrated actors took supporting roles in the film and its various sequels, including Ralph Fiennes, Maggie Smith, Alan Rickman, Emma Thompson, Richard Harris, and Gary Oldman. The seventh and final, according to Rowling's predetermined plan, Harry Potter novel, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, debuted in U.S. bookstores on July 21st, 2007. Like all the previous Harry Potter books, it is slated to become a movie to be released in 2010. Today, the Harry Potter films are the most financially successful series in history, having surpassed both the Star Wars and James Bond franchises. And that is your entertainment report for Friday, July 31st, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Good night, and God bless you all.